Hello everyone, my name is Marah, and today's case is about ANDREA KNABEL, who was 37 years old when she went missing from Louisville, Kentucky in 2019. And just a quick reminder before I get started, that I always try to do the best research and get the most accurate information I can for every single case that I cover. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's case. ANDREA Michelle Knabel was born on January 7th of 1982 to her dad Michael and to her mom Cheryl. She also was said to have a giant heart and was always willing to help others. And she was a mom to two boys who she loved very much. She was said to be an amazing mom, daughter, sister, and friend. ANDREA was an active member in a group called Missing in America, and this is a nonprofit group that helps try to find missing kids and missing adults. ANDREA was also working as an analyst for Humana, but unfortunately in 2019 she was laid off. It's also alleged that she was struggling with addiction at this time. And if being laid off and all these other things that were piling up weren't enough, she also was involved in a hit-and-run car accident that totaled her car. But ANDREA was living with a roommate and was trying to work multiple different jobs. But when her roommate ends up moving out, that's when ANDREA moves in with her mom, Cheryl, in the summer of 2019. So at this point, her mom is having bathroom renovations done to her house, so Cheryl actually wasn't living in the home at this time. But she still would stop over for dinner every single night, and just to spend some time with them, and to see how the construction was going. ANDREA's sister Sarah and her fiance Ethan were actually helping do this construction to the home. So who's actually living in this house is ANDREA and her two sons, and then Sarah and Ethan. So, on the evening of August 12th of 2019, Cheryl brings over Chinese food for dinner. This night, ANDREA's sons were staying at their dad's house. While they were eating, Cheryl brought up something along the lines of that ANDREA's poor life choices were setting her back from the progress of having a new life. It was said that Sarah and Ethan had chimed in and agreed with Cheryl. And ANDREA felt ganged up on, so she decided to excuse herself from dinner, and they said she was very clearly upset. And in my opinion, this is when some random events start to happen. So it's still the same night, and it's said a little bit later on, Ethan and ANDREA and her nephew all go to McDonald's. Then Ethan gives ANDREA a ride to the Kentucky Medical Center, so she can receive treatment to the injuries on her face, which was said to come from some type of infection. And I believe this is kind of where some of the alleged that maybe she was using drugs and possibly had sores on her face and then they got infected. But that's all alleged, and I'm not saying that that's exactly what happened. But Ethan drops her off at 9:50 p.m. and by 11:22 p.m. she is being released from the hospital. This is when she's picked up by a lift. The lift brings her back to her mom's house where she's staying, but when she gets there, she doesn't have a key, so she's not able to get back into the house. So at this point, it's already midnight, and the day is August 13th of 2019. And since she can't get in, she decides to walk to her other sister's house, whose name is Erin and lived about a mile and a half away. When she gets to Erin's, she vents to her sister about all that they had said to her at dinner, and about how it had hurt her feelings, and she felt as though they were ganging up on her. I also had seen where her family was worried about her mental health, and during this talk, they had asked her to go see a therapist. And after they chat, Erin gives her a ride back to their mom's house. And at this point, it's 1:34 a.m., and ANDREA is trying to get into the house, but she still does not have a key. And she's assuming that Sarah and Ethan are asleep. ANDREA then walks back to Erin's house for a second time that night. When she gets there, she asks Erin if she can stay the night there. But she tells her sister no, because her house is under construction and that her kids were sleeping in the downstairs. So ANDREA goes to leave, and the last time Erin has seen her sister is when she looks back out the window and sees ANDREA on her phone. At 1:54 a.m., ANDREA's phone pings back by her mom's house. And her phone was still active at 6:31 a.m. But after this, her phone either died or was turned off, because all of the calls were going to voicemail. This is the last known activity of ANDREA, and they aren't even 100% sure if this was her using the phone at this time. because Andrea has not been seen since. There has been no activity on her bank accounts, and the phone that she did have has not ever been located. And when Sarah and Ethan were interviewed by the police, they told them that they actually weren't sleeping. They were just worried that Andrea was going to be mad about the conversation that they had had earlier at dinner, so they just didn't want to answer the door. The police searched the home, but they weren't ever able to find anything else that could lead to where Andrea possibly was. Both of Andrea's sons' dads were interviewed, and they were cleared. Ethan was questioned as well and also was cleared. There have been alleged sightings in the Clarksonville, Jeffersonville, and New Albany areas in Indiana. On November 27th of 2019, Andrea's family noticed a gold Chevy Impala believed to be a 2004 or 2005 model with license plate 637ZLA was repeatedly seen driving past Aaron's home. Windows were tinted, but they could see a thin white male driving and a thin white woman in the passenger seat. When authorities ran the plates, they came back as stolen, but the car has never been recovered. The incident made her family feel as though maybe Andrea was human trafficked. What do you think? Do you think she fell victim to human trafficking? Another theory that I did see was that if she was using drugs, maybe she owed money to somebody and they did something to her. Another one is, since she worked for this nonprofit that was trying to help find missing people, maybe she caught on to some information and this person didn't want to get in trouble, so they wanted to stop her. I have also seen too where it said that Sarah and Ethan just picked up and moved away and have not helped search for Andrea. So it's a possibility that maybe they had something to do with her disappearance. But either way, whatever happened, she is still missing. And her sons are having to live without knowing what happened to their mom. Her sister Erin and her dad Michael continue to search for her. If you have any details about what happened to Andrea, please speak out to the authorities. I'm going to link the phone number down below. There also is a $10,000 reward. But I want to hear what you think. What happened to Andrea? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you'll comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.